Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ori and the Blind Forest All Skills, No Out of Bounds, No Teleport Anywhere tournament. Today, we are closing things out with the lower bracket finals in the near division, CheeseLover, Seed 8 versus TheStimon, Seed 24. Joining me is a man who needs no introduction.
That's right, it's me, Vooligan. What's up, everybody? We have got a pretty great matchup here today. Now, I'm actually Jay Hobbs. How's it going? As all of you know at this point, from hearing our voices way too much throughout this whole tournament. But we got a cool matchup here, fam. We got the lower finals for the near division soon. We really want to say we got the lower round of 32 match to go. The winner goes into the lower finals. Our prep work might have been a little incorrect.
I'm going to blame you for that one, dude.
What? You're the one? Okay, whatever.
No,
whatever.
you're the one
I don't care.
said.
I'll take it.
Okay,
I'll take
all right,
it. That's fine. But we have CheeseLover versus TheStimon456. That's match L13 on your screens there. Round of 32. Loser is kicked out of the tournament. Winner moves on to the lower finals to face Lost to Do for that chance to get back into the upper bracket through the division finals. And this should be a pretty interesting one, fam.
Yeah, indeed. No, we heard from Cheese earlier before the race. No, he hasn't had too much time to practice in the last couple weeks. No, he's been focusing on school and getting that knocked out of the way. So today, before this, he did a no reset run and got, unfortunately, a 41. And quite a ways from the PB, but hopefully that was just a fluke. And we'll be able to see a better performance from here in his race versus TheStimon, because he is going to need it, J Hobbs.
Yeah, I mean, TheStimon has become a beast over the course of this tournament. Ended up with maybe not the most favorable seed out of groups, something that was probably a bit on the lower end from what we were expecting out of somebody of TheStimon's caliber. But since groups, he's just been grinding out runs, putting in the time, and really working on improving to the point where his PB has now surpassed Cheese's despite that 16-point differential in the seed numbers.
Yeah, just an incredible string of performance gains from TheStimon here. Now, as we see, for the races played, look at the stats graph on the bottom left. It shows Cheese has an advantage, but that was heavily weighted by the group stage. And back then, TheStimon wasn't nearly as good as he is now. So, he's caught up very fast. And look at the best race time between CheeseLover and TheStimon there. Only, let's see, 9 seconds apart. Doing quick math there in my head. Always dangerous, Hobbs.
Always dangerous for sure. But we're going to get them kicked off momentarily here. As you can see, we are on the main race layout. I like to remind people every now and then, just in case you are new to the tournament. Cheese is on the left, TheStimon's on the right, and at the bottom you can see who's in first and second place via the indicators, as well as how far throughout the run they are via the skill wheels. But the runners have begun, Fant, and I'm really hoping for an exciting one here.
Well, it looks like TheStimon gets the early advantage with the slightly faster prologue skip.
Yeah, that's really going to make the entire difference of this whole race. I mean, it's over at this point. TheStimon saved less than 0.1 seconds. It's completely done.
Yeah, unfortunately, in a category as optimized as this, really an insurmountable lead. As we see, it looks like Cheese may have gained back a couple frames there with that drop.
I don't know. TheStimon blew up the plant, which is going to potentially set up his jump pattern on the way out. And coming up to Sign, it's looking like maybe he has the slight edge. Of course, when it comes to syncing timers over the internet to the degree of of 100 milliseconds or something, I have a feeling that they're probably tied.
Yeah, in all seriousness, no, this is not an insurmountable lead by any means. There's still a whole bunch of game left. We're just getting started, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, TheStimon with what seems to be the cleaner Frankie fight, though. Definitely grabbing an extra second or so there. I think Cheese might have also randomly walked a bit further past Sign or something like that. But yeah. TheStimon does get the 1-frame jump, and I think Cheese got it there too.
It was really close. Damage. I was looking at TheStimon there in the lead, but let's see. TheStimon gets trolled by the pickup animation on the flower. CheeseLover gets it at the top, and with that, practically tied once again.
Yeah, even back up just like that. Of course, now it comes down to who gets what random drops. Both runners running into the slime, taking different methods at it, but taking about the same amount of time. TheStimon also failed to kill his slime, which he was definitely going for there. So not going to have to worry about a random drop, but also not going to pick up some of that experience. which may affect his routing coming up. It looks like both runners are sitting on the 1 HP that they desire, though.
Yeah, all these damage boosts intentional to make that ghost door as quick as possible. No, earlier on, I just wanted to comment about the perfect sync that CheeseLover and Steinman had at checking their UI right as they were getting down and pulling the boulder. It was pretty sweet. Both runners grabbing the ever so valuable 4th health cell, the first of either 5 or 6, depending on how the runners feel. Important note, CheeseLover is watching the restream and will know how he is doing relative to his opponent. Steinman has opted, on the other hand, to close it out and just focus solely on his play.
And it looks like Steinman must have gotten a cutscene stack earlier that we missed, because he did not have to wait on a health drop. Oh, Cheese having a couple double takes there to pick up that keystone. But yeah, Cheese had a harder time getting through the slime because he got a little trolled by a pickup, and there's another one for him. So small little randomness that's hurting Cheese in the early game. He just has to make sure that doesn't affect his mental play, though.
Yeah, so Cheese getting the level up on the way down.
It's a little risky, too. He ran into the slime and still took damage from the spikes. If he had kind of, been a little off in his timing there, that would have been a very costly death.
Yeah, well, thankfully, he got that level up that refilled his HP. And once again, after grabbing the wall jump, the first real skill that we'll be grabbing, we'll get another HP and energy refill. So yeah, Steinman just with a slight edge down at wall jump. But
yeah, about 4 to 5 seconds of differential between the two at this point. Nothing too big of a deal. One cycle in Black Group Burrows can easily even that back up. But we have heard from Steinman that he did a bunch of PB attempts today and never got past Frankie Walk.
Oh, man, sorry. Steinman doesn't. Oh man, just narrowly dodging that slime shot there. It's like just like that, giving a couple of those seconds back to CheeseLover. But now Steinman is down in HP, and we'll do another damage boost there. So that's 2. We'll see if he opts to grab one of the backup health cells. Skip the one on the left, but there's one coming up shortly on the right. Or if Steinman's just going to go for it, enter BRB with slightly lower health.
Yeah, I don't expect him to pick up a health drop here. People, runners at this... Oh, I'm mistaken. Steinman actually did go for it, gave up that little bit of extra time. I think a lot of the times runners at these levels are more comfortable with going in at low HP, but really not wanting to take any risks, maybe due to some of those early resets from earlier today where he had trouble getting through the early game.
Yeah, I know. And all the PB attempts Steinman's done lately, he hasn't made it past the Frankie Walk. So, this extra bit of safety here is definitely understandable on his part.
It, of course, does give Cheese the chance to be right behind him once again, though.
Within a second.
Yeah, catching up 4 seconds or so from that little bit of movement. Now we're back into Black Group Burrows, and neither runner opting for the slime genocide route, both going to be picking up the experience container in after dropping the orb.
Yep, so that will give them a time level up. I'm curious if either of these runners are going to place another safety save here. It's like, nope, Steinman. Oh, CheeseLover, there it is. There's a safety save from him. So
yeah, Cheese went for it. He even stopped for a moment, maybe not too comfortable with that safety save, realizing that there is a way to do it without, kind of taking that pause. Just really wanted to make sure that he got that safety in there.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of this is going to be like adaptations based on, how his run went right before this race. Doesn't want to risk anything with when you're not feeling too good, throwing in those extra safety saves at a cost of a couple seconds each, definitely
Very
worth it.
possible. Steinman looks like he's in second place at this point, but he actually did a cycle reload, so Cheese is going to have to wait on this cycle a bit while Steinman gets to take that lead right back, pass on by him. Only saved him a little bit of extra time, as you could see. Cheese must have gotten a pretty favorable cycle, but still time nonetheless.
Yeah,
it also
CheeseLover
affects the cycle up here as well. So
right, yeah, CheeseLover did get the cycle he was aiming for. You always have to wait a little bit if you get the optimal route through BRB. And Steinman's still just a handful of seconds ahead of CheeseLover here.
Well, we'll see how he did on this cycle manipulation in the next room. Not too aggressive, and pretty much the same from Cheese, a little more aggressive, saving a few frames back there, but nobody missing a cycle, and that's certainly kind of the bigger, potential problem. Both runners going to drop the orb on the moving platform, not opting for any extra safety there. And now they'll be coming up to the darkness cutscene. We'll see if anybody opts for the cutscene stack here to potentially save 2 seconds at the cost of some blind movement.
Yep, that was discovered not too long ago. We've seen many of the runners opt to practice it and throw it into their races. But not sure like the history of these two, if either of them have decided to do it based on that save time.
Yeah, neither of them are. And what's kind of funny is that Stimon, I think, let go of his save bind a little early or something, because he gave that little advantage he had over Cheese right back by just not saving as quickly as he thought, and he had to take a second attempt at it. But both runners tied at dash now, and here comes Frankie Walk.
Oh, and CheeseLover gets the dash through the slime, and just like that, takes a little bit of a lead.
And as we mentioned, Stimon said he hasn't gotten past this part of the run today. Of course, this is a no reset. There's no kind of, reset potential here. So one way or another, he's going to get past this section, but we'll see if he has any trouble with it.
All right. Both Cheese and Stimon are going to have to get an extra hop here to make it over the log. Didn't get the Frankie in the correct position in order to just go right over. Just a very, very minor time loss, but really no difference between the two. No ground gain for CheeseLover, none loss for Stimon.
Yeah, baiting that Frankie in the correct banner is incredibly difficult, and at times can almost just feel random. It's certainly not, but...
Yeah, just one hop of the Frankie separating the two runners as we enter the Death Gauntlet. A very, very scary position. Let's see if anybody goes for the Death Glide. Cheese is going for it, and Stimon opts to just shoot his way through all the spores or brambles or whatever you want to call them. Just
Cheese being successful there, he took that extra little bit of advantage, and both runners placing their safety save at the bottom here, so showing some confidence. Now I know each was practicing this trick, the early grotto cycle, moments before the race. We'll see how they do. Cheese is the first attempt on the left, and he is not able to get in there. Stimon on the right side going to take,
and he gets it
out, nails it, and is able to surpass Cheese due to that 8-second time save.
Yeah, so Cheese entered with a little bit of a lead. Stimon completely reverses it. Now we're looking maybe 4 or 5 seconds only separating them.
Well, it's probably more on the order of 6 to 8 or so because of that cycle. It's just a bit hard to kind of catch that right away because you almost don't get to see how it plays out until that ghost door.
We'll get an update here at the double jump tree. Going to give us a lot more mobility options with this skill. Yeah, both runners opting to do the blind movement, of course. Done perfectly. I think it saves. And ooh, Stimon takes a death.
Fallen into the spikes. Now, luckily, he did get the autosave up on the wall, so he wasn't sent all the way back to the double jump tree or anything like that, but that certainly gives Cheese a lot of that time back.
Yeah, I am so excited how close this race is turning out. Just back and forth all over this place. Every time someone gets a little bit of a lead, it's just like instantly taken back. Cheese gets it on the way down. This is the God cycle. Stimon gets it. Stimon's in the lead. Dies after getting double jump, then closes up with Cheese, and they just got
both with the first try grotto skip. Now, the funny thing is that Stimon had a bit more trouble just hopping up the wall to get to grotto skip, so he gave Cheese the chance to make it tied once again. So now we come into the longer section where your double jumping and wall jump mechanics are really put to the test. And this is a lot more difficult than it seems.
Ooh, Stimon falling off, so allowing Cheese to get a couple of seconds here. But as we've seen already, this is absolutely no breathing room at all.
True, but it is the kind of thing that will instill a lot more confidence into Cheese than it necessarily will Stimon, because Cheese is watching the restream, right? So he knows, all right, I've been tied here effectively, right? But now I'm having clean movement, I'm gaining a little bit of extra time. Meanwhile, Stimon, he only has his PB splits to go off of, so he can only gauge how he's doing based on those.
All right, CheeseLover and Stimon almost simultaneously activating the teleporter that will be used after we reach almost the end of Against the Tree. Not going all the way through it anymore, unfortunately.
All right, let's see. There's 3-second difference between the two at Water Vein after some of that wall jumping hiccup. And I expect that to remain mostly the same as we get up to the Ginso tree. Stimon, oh, maybe not, because Stimon missed some experience. Not realizing that that is actually some experience that's safe to miss.
But
he dashed back to get it again.
Just a small hiccup from Cheese, missing the dash glide off of the top. I'm not sure if that's something he usually goes for or just accidentally missed it there, but still a little bit of time. Stimon's catching up again. Look at that, another teleporter activated.
Steinman took a couple hops extra though at the to get to the top ability cell, so probably gave that time right back. He did get a nice cycle on the way out though of that teleporter section, and now, oh no, he's taking extra damage from the slime. He's sitting on 1 health at the moment.
Man.
Narrowly dodges the spine. Oh my god, Steinman finally will get some extra health back with that save and reload. My god, that was close.
Oh man, my heart can't take this much longer, J-Hobbs. But anyway,
That was
so
absurd. 3 damage from the slime.
Cheese entered Ginso Tree at approximately 12-17. In his run earlier today, he had a 14-14. So I'd imagine like he's playing very clean for the first half of this game. And it's got to be a confidence booster for him, and I hope he keeps it up.
All right, Cheese making a nice
Simon
cycle.
runs into one of the spores at the top and falls all the way back down to the bottom of Ginso Tree. So another little bit of time loss there.
That is rough. This segment is all about those minor micro optimizations, and Steinman's still having trouble with some of these platforms now, and all his cycles are going to be thrown off because of that. Gonna have to adapt here, try to go over this gamer. Okay, he does adapt nicely, but certainly dropped a little bit more time on Cheese there on top of already falling down in that first round.
Yeah, so far this Ginso is looking pretty perfect from Cheese. Already through the...
Certainly not the movement of somebody who got a 41 earlier today.
Yeah.
She's really not letting that stop him from showing off in this run.
All right, Ginso mini boss for Cheese as Steinman makes his way through the puzzle room. Ideally, Cheese is going to be hoping for a 5 cycle. This is cycle number 4. So let's see.
He actually narrowly...
Yeah.
He was pretty close to the 4 cycle there. He would have needed just about 2 of those phases to go a little bit better. But that was pretty nice from him. An early 5 cycle is going to, pretty much not give Steinman any real opportunities back during this section.
Yeah, I'll call that 4.5. We'll see how Steinman does on his end. But Cheese took a little bit of damage at the Ginso mini boss, completely intentional in order to do this right here. Place a save, do the ghost door, and die with 1 tick on the spikes. And he has made it to Bash with a really solid time here. Wow.
Steinman, meanwhile, got a 5 cycle on the mini boss as well, taking slightly longer, but also more importantly, could not make a safety save due to the way that his health was lined up. So if he has any issues with this section, he's going to have to fight the mini boss again. Looking like there's no problems for him here, though. Really just veteran play coming out of Steinman in those rooms.
Yeah, so that little bit of spaghetti at the early part of Ginso, taking the damage on the way to Ginso itself, opened up about 20-30 second lead for Cheese here.
Ooh, Cheese. That was a nice backup from Cheese. He killed the Mortar Worm to try to save up on the top, but was not able to get his double jump after the intentional damage boost as well as he would have liked. So that's going to give Steinman a few more seconds back. He is at least successful with his key duplication, so no kind of major issues there, but he has to do this climb in a weird way once again, and now can't do any kind of additional damage boost to save further time later.
All right, Steinman forgot to place a save there really quick, or maybe just had to get one of the shots out of the way, but now is on to his key dupe as CheeseLover has already duped his keys, trying to set up hyperspeed. There it is. And now the second mini boss in Ginso, aka a standard run-of-the-mill enemy with some awesome music in the background.
Steinman not quite getting as fast of a key dupe as Cheese, so that'll probably even out some of the weirdness Cheese had at the bottom of the room, but Steinman is getting the hyperspeed and moving into the mini boss now, so not too big of a difference between these two as we coming up to Swamp Entry, probably the first real major trick in the run.
Yeah,
it's not the first trick, right? But it's the first one with like a real long setup.
This trick is a frequent spot for resets, at least on my end, and I'm sure many people have similar experiences. But there's a lot of options to go fast. One of them is doing this blind movement that you're seeing on Cheese's screen here. So he's navigating through quite a long stretch over some spikes. Sounded like he got a hit there, so we'll have to be careful. Another hit. Now. So we'll see if he opts to place a save. Yeah,
looks
there
like
it
he's
is.
Going to, yeah. All right, bashing the frog over now. See if he gets this on the first attempt. He gets into the water, so now he's on low health, cannot take damage from these spikes. Luckily, he is going for the double bash method, rather. Anyways, a little bit of a weird setup here. He's going to take a few extra double bashes, but he does still get through. Nice job from Cheese to adapt appropriately. Now Steinman's the next one up, but unfortunately kills his frog before he even gets a real attempt at it.
Looks like that was a nice hyperspeed save for CheeseLover. Really quick menu reloads. This will save. Oh, well, was going to save about half a second, but unfortunately goes a little too far in. Takes a bath there.
Meanwhile,
in the beautiful
Stimon
blue water.
Getting a bit trolled by the frog and was having to take an extra shot at that swamp entry. So he lost some time there, but he is through now. He left the ability cell as well, but he'll be able to pick that up on his way out, of course.
That was a 1721 stomp pickup for CheeseLover. He is within a handful of seconds from his PB. After pulling up a 41 right before this and now being pretty close to PB pace, what a turnaround for CheeseLover.
True, but we're of course heading to the western side of the map here in just a moment, and that is where things can really start to cost you minutes at a time very quickly.
Indeed. Also known as the left side of the map, or western side. Whatever floats your boat. I'm not too picky.
Gotta go with cardinal directions, man. Talk about maps here. Anyways, Cheese picks up the ability cell nicely. We'll be coming up to Kuro cutscene skip in just a moment. Stimon's gonna have to pick up 2 ability cells on the way out here because he left 1 in the first. Cheese has mentioned in the past that he thinks that this skip is incredibly free and he really does not want to miss it in the tournament. And there it is, his first miss on Kuro cutscene skip in the tournament.
Hobbs, why did you have to go say that?
Not going. Hey, Richard did it first. It was on the stats.
Okay, all right. So, you're safe for now.
That's going to cost him, somewhere on the order of 12 to 14 seconds. So if Stimon can get this on the first attempt, and as you can see from his success rate, it's looking like he should have a good shot at it. He does. That's going to catch him up a lot of that time that he's been bleeding since Ginso.
And she is also opting for the Spider Sack area health cell. This is something he usually goes for, and Stimon does not. So seeing a little bit of the gap close, but that will be made up later on. What were you saying, Hobbs? I heard some gasps. What did I miss?
Yeah, just Stimon had a spider shot go very close to the wall, but he still managed to use it. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to use that save that he placed a little too far to the right in order to skip that cutscene, so he gave back another few seconds to Cheese there. And as you were, kind of digging into, when we get to the later portion of the game, Stimon will have to pick up some additional health that Cheese will not. So even though he picked up more health here and gave up some time to Stimon, that will get evened up a bit later on in the run.
Yeah, that health cell Cheese picked up is indeed slower than the other 2 options at the end of the game, but by getting that health cell early, he's going to be able to take a hit from the spikes in Sorrow. So if you get your bird at a little bit of a bad angle during the Sorrow Bash, he does have some safety there.
Man, both runners having trouble with the dash glide over the Spirit Tree cutscene. Stimon had to take several attempts at it. Meanwhile, Cheese had just ran into it, basically ran into the cutscene and had to slow walk. So unfortunately, even though Cheese was giving Stimon some more time to catch up, Stimon didn't really take advantage of it there.
Right, CheeseLover, I love that new strat of, bashing off the frog to get higher up in that little, I don't know, it needs a name, that little corridor with spikes on either side. Right after stomping the pegs, up to the door it releases, but ooh.
Oh man, he kills his bird. That's actually going to be somewhat costly because now he has to do all of this slow climbing instead of utilizing bash. Meanwhile, Stimon's just racing right behind him. We'll see how he deals with this bird, and is in fact going to double bash so that he can actually climb even higher. So Stimon really taking advantage of that mistake there. Now both coming up to fast stompless here, and Cheese has not missed it yet in the tournament. We have seen that go wrong for him once so far already in this race. We'll see if he's successful now.
Well, the shots for both runners look pretty good to me. CheeseLover grabs the ability cell. He is through. And Stimon, let's see.
A little close to those spikes, but he grabs the ability cell too and will be warped into the cutscene. So neither runner having trouble with fast stompless. And we've got a pretty close race here at the moment as we go into Sorrow. And of course, Sorrow Bash being always a thing that you're not too worried about as a runner with these kinds of times that these runners have, but it's easy to make a quick mistake, as you and I both know from experience, fan, when those hands are shaking in the middle of a tournament race.
Oh, and CheeseLover accidentally forgot to level up Charge Dash, so I had to go back up to the Spirit Well, and just like that, Stimon has a chance to capitalize, and we're having a synced Sorrow Bash here.
Well, hopefully they can both be successful on the first attempt. Stimon is, and Cheese is as well. So Stimon with the small edge here, but really, really going to be determined by all of the movement throughout Sorrow and Misty here.
Man, I cannot believe this. We'll see if any runner opts to take any safety saves at all. Of course, CheeseLover already has that safety of 5 health, so he's not going to feel as pressured to do anything. Still, TheStimon managing to edge out a slight lead on the way to the charge jump tree. Starting to save anywhere, and CheeseLover will not do a save anywhere yet. He's going to opt to grab the charge jump tree first and then start up his save anywhere on the way out.
Man, TheStimon even had extra energy, but instead of using it for a safety save before that spike cave, he decided to use it for charge dashes after the ghost door. So a lot of confidence coming out of TheStimon here, even dashing all the way through on the way back out of this section. Meanwhile, Cheese has to start up that save anywhere, as you were mentioning, Fan, because of the trick that TheStimon is so quickly performing already.
All right, yeah, TheStimon is through clean. CheeseLover holding feather. Oh wait, and TheStimon ran into the spikes, it looked like, on the way up. There's a little bit of spikes that jut out from the right wall, and I think TheStimon hit those.
That's unbelievable. He gave the lead right back to Cheese while we couldn't even see anything right under the save anywhere. Cheese going to be the first one to come up to Sunstone now, and TheStimon going to be there about 6 seconds behind him.
And, oh, so on the replay there, I just saw it, he dashed into the spikes. I'm not sure what happened.
Wow, that could only have been an accidental key press, I would imagine. There's no reason to dash in that that shaft, so I can only imagine TheStimon accidentally bumped the key or something.
All right, CheeseLover has collected the Sunstone. TheStimon has also collected the Sunstone and is very, very close behind.
TheStimon also didn't even wait on his laser cycle on the way out, whereas Cheese had to, so catching up a little bit more time. Cheese also bashing, but TheStimon opting for the same thing. Meteor kick down now for Cheese. TheStimon shortly behind. Both runners making a safety save on the way into Misty as well.
Definitely a good call. You know, Misty, there's a ton of opportunity for either runner to take a lead here. There's a lot of complex movement, a lot of charge dashes, stomp cancels everywhere. And, you know, one small mistake or a blown energy could give one runner.
Stomped right into spikes. He's now sitting on 1 HP at this point. Any little brush from anything will instantly kill him and send him back to the beginning of Misty. See if he goes for another safety save anywhere, but of course that could potentially mean that he's low on energy. And that is not what you want to see on the way into such a close area. TheStimon, I think, might have even dumped some energy there with a rough attempt at a stomp cancel, and yeah, he had to slow down to pick up energy. So now Cheese is going to be the first to climb, and TheStimon still has to make it through these spikes on very low health, but he is able to succeed and get to climb not too far behind Cheese.
All right, so TheStimon's going to be really thankful for that nice health and energy refill and save at the climb tree. And Cheese with a slight lead here, making the way out of Misty. Still plenty of room for mistakes to happen. This can be anybody's race.
Cheese dumped some energy immediately after climb in a... Oh, wow, and dumps even more there. Those are pretty uncharacteristic locations for dumping energy, so I don't believe those were intentional. That one likely was, and Cheese making a safety save. He's now on 1 energy. That's pretty low throughout this section. He's probably not going to be able to make any other safety saves, or he's really going to have to sacrifice some fast movement. TheStimon, meanwhile, has been playing so cleanly since climb that he's already caught all the way back up and is less than 1 second behind at this point.
Yeah, Cheese has the option here. He's going to kill this energy crystal, get some energy there. We'll see if he opts to place the save. He does not, and TheStimon does.
TheStimon had the same amount of energy after all. Going into that crystal, so now both runners going with the rocket jump. A lot more difficult a lot riskier rocket jump, I guess I'll say, from him there. But TheStimon somehow gave him back just an extra second or two, so now they're tied again. Both runners picking up extra energy. TheStimon actually had to wait a little bit to pick it up. I'm not even sure he ever got it, but he will get his health and energy refilled from this mini boss, as Cheese does. TheStimon's was a little bit cleaner, so he's going to open the keystone door first.
Neither runner ended up getting the quick kill, but TheStimon did manage to get it a cycle earlier. I'm losing my mind here, Hobbs. This is incredibly close. I have no idea who's going to take it.
Even through this movement at the end, you know, on the way out of Misty, TheStimon, for example, has built a little bit of an extra lead on the way out, but he's done it at the expense of more energy. So Cheese... Oh, wait, but TheStimon fails to get over the entire pit of Valley.
Just like that!
Handed the lead right back to Cheese.
Unbelievable. Both on the teleporter at the same time. CheeseLover teleporting first. Only once again, just a handful of seconds between the two runners. And now here we go, Cheese making his way down to the final skill in the game, Light Grenade. It's just this, and then a straight shot to the end. Cheese is gonna hope to get this nice laser cycle here. That was a...
Diamond's having trouble through the zigzag section, so I don't know if he'll be able to go for Yoka Cycle, but neither is Cheese because of his mistakes through it. Steinman, yeah, he's going to have to wait. So both runners actually having to wait on an extra cycle there. And on top of this, oh my god, Steinman barely got out of that laser. But on top of this, oh my god, but he dashes. I keep wanting to talk, but I can't because he dashes right into Spikes, and that is going to secure Cheese with a hefty lead at this point.
Hobbs, take it from here. I can't handle it, dude.
Well, one thing to remember that I'm being reminded by Richard, our restreamer at the moment, is that Cheese already has picked up 5 health. Steinman has not. So Cheese has that advantage of a few seconds of not having to necessarily pick up an extra health cell. We'll see if he goes for his 6th one or not. Meanwhile, though, he's had a little bit of trouble moving back out of Light Grenade so far. This rocket jump should still be pretty good.
Wait, he didn't do the Yoka Cycle, he still went for it. Oh man, the guts on this guy.
That is very much not advised, so pretty crazy that Cheese was still able to do that.
Oh, okay, alright. So Cheese will be grabbing a 6 health cell, so this is going to provide him a significant amount of safety in the final swim section through poison water at the very end of the game. Now, Steinman gets a nice rocket jump out of the grenade area. We'll see what he opts to do. Steinman is still sitting at 4 health, so for sure he's going to grab this one, but we'll see if he opts to grab the 6th one in Horu Fields. Cheese is not going to have to worry about that one.
Yeah, and this is the kind of time where having the advantage of watching the restream, you know, might have given Cheese that little edge to know I can get the 6 health. I have just enough of an advantage where I can give up that kind of time. He's also saving some of his energy here, probably for some faster charge dashes to the door. Steinman had trouble with the meteor kick, and his energy has been a little bit weird since Light Grenade, and unfortunately, he's still having some issues moving through this section. Here's the moment of truth, though. Does he go 6 health, or does he press on?
He's going 5 health.
On. That is a risky decision, but exactly what Steinman needed to make at this point. He can't even know that without watching the race, but he must just have this internal
CheeseLover gets the first try door warp.
Oh my god, now the pressure is on to Steinman to have to match that. If he does not match that, he's really got very little chance at this point. Now, of course, Cheese still has to make a mistake. He has to either die in this final escape or have a lot of issues with the final grenade jump. But Steinman, right side, let's see how he does on door warp.
It's a first try for him as well.
First try, oh my god. Cheese now into the final escape, though. It's his race to lose at this point. Comes down probably to the final grenade jump. He shouldn't have any issues with the swim because he went with that 6 HP. Of course, Steinman is sitting on 5 HP, so when he comes up to that, that is going to be something to watch out for.
Right, and CheeseLover still, with that 6 HP, cannot take any damage on the way down. So far, it looks good. And here we go. The poison water swim for CheeseLover.
Only takes 4
He is
damage.
through. He just needs to not spawn Kuro. He does not spawn Kuro. Just 1 grenade jump, the final trick in the game. Cheese needs to get this without soft blocking, and he will go home with the victory. There it is.
And he does on the first attempt. GG to CheeseLover. Going to be taking the victory here with a very nice performance. About 10 minutes faster than his run earlier in the day, which is always a great thing to see. Steinman now wants to try to just finish out as best he can, see how he does on the grenade jump as well.
And it's
first attempt. Excellent job from Steinman to finish out. What a close race from these two. She's only winning by less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, you know, CheeseLover, you know, goes into the race not feeling too good, and now he's finishing up with a low 31 right on top of his PB. Not literally his PB, but pretty dang close. What a turnaround.
Unbelievable, man. Crazy. I'm at a loss for words to a degree here. We'll see. The final time for Steinman is going to be a 31:39. So less than 30 seconds, man. 24 seconds, I believe, between these two.
You did your math correctly. It was indeed 24 seconds.
It's what we were hoping for, man. That's all that we could ask for. when we have two runners with these kinds of, this kind of closeness in their PBs. We'll see if we can talk to them, because I'm sure they've got some things to say.
Well, let's not wait any longer. Let's bring in our winners. CheeseLover. CheeseLover's muted. Hang on 1 second. CheeseLover, respond. Someone tell him. Quick.
All right, we've got him in here now. Cheese and Stimon. Wow, congratulations first on a close race to both of you. I know that, like, Cheese, you probably realized how close it was the whole time, but Stimon, I'm sure you were kind of in the dark. But also, congratulations, Cheese, on edging out the victory and beating your earlier time by 10 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, my heart is beating so fast. Like I've been shaking for like since basically into Ginso, because like I was not expecting to win this at all based on that previous run, and then at into Ginso I was only like 8 seconds behind, and I was just so surprised, and then I got really nervous, and my heart hasn't stopped beating so fast since then. And like when I finished the run, I like took my hands off everything, and I realized how much I was shaking. Like I was trying to type in Twitch chat, and I just couldn't like move my fingers.
Oh man. Well, I just want to ask one thing real quick to kick off. Was there any point where you like turned off the restream, where you stopped watching it or anything like that, or did you have that information available to you the entire run?
I had it available to me the entire run, so like I knew that I was like kind of behind really early on, and then around I guess double jump area it was like really close, and I'm not sure like perfectly, but basically up until I think it was about grenade, like every time I looked over it was like we were within like 2 seconds of each other. I don't even know.
It was pretty close.
Yeah, so Cheese, I do want to ask, you did talk about the run earlier today, the 41, the infamous 41, and like just not being able to practice for the last while, busy with other things. When you're going into this race, was there a point where you're like, okay, I've got my groove back. I got a super low Ginso time. I'm going through this. I'm going to finish with a crazy good time. Where you just still feeling like, oh man, let me make safety saves wherever I can. I do not want to throw this away.
I don't know. I feel like playing in races gets me like not perfectly consistent, but way more consistent than any like run I'd ever do, because in PB attempts I'm like so focused on like getting that sub 12 into Ginso or sub 12:10, like at 12:20 above that in a PB attempt for me is like a reset basically. So like I always never really go fast. So but when I'm in a race setting, I like something clicks in my mind. I'm like, okay, you have to take this as serious as you possibly can, and I just seem to crack it out. Like I don't think I was playing super safe anyway. Like I didn't even make a safety save in Misty where you normally would. Drop too much energy here. I just have to go. It's too close. So I think I played wood, but not necessarily more safe.
Well, it was an exciting race for sure, and half of that was, of course, due to our other runner here, Stimon. How are you doing, Stimon? And I also wanted to specifically ask if you had like, we know you weren't watching the restream, so did you have any kind of inkling that it was as close as it was?
I had no idea. I mean, Cheese mentioned like 2 seconds at grenade. I had no idea. I thought I was behind by like 20 seconds because this run was awful. I mean, I was bleeding time everywhere, and none of my splits are even. I'm not saving time on any splits. So I mean, my time is good, but it's just because I didn't get a huge death like in Sorrow or anything. But I had no idea how close it was until I saw him finish, and I was like, oh goddamn! I so thought I had it, but then I popped it in a live split, and yeah, it was too bad. But I didn't know.
There were lead changes all over the place. It was crazy how close you guys were for so long.
How even? I mean, I was expecting to lose because I just couldn't play. It was god awful.
Well, no, it was not bad at all for, such a high pressure race scenario, especially. I mean, even as far as climb, you guys were only 5 seconds apart or so. And that was after, some of the issues you had with Sorrow and stuff like that. So it was really exciting. Fant, do you have any more? I'm still like sitting here just mind blown. Do you have any more questions?
Oof.
Yeah, my heart's beating almost as fast as CheeseLover's after that race. It was really incredible.
And my heart didn't.
Watch it.
Yeah, my heart didn't beat until the final grenade jump. Once I grenade jump, I hoped he wasn't done, but then when I saw his time, I mean, it stopped, but it wasn't too bad, personally.
Wait, so your heart didn't beat until the grenade? So was that like a Frankenstein situation, the lightning bolt bringing you back to life at the end?
To be honest, I almost forgot I was in a race. I mean, at climb, I was like, wait, I'm racing someone. I need to go fast. And then I just started being in a race setting, but I just, my mind turned off and I almost forgot I was racing someone, you know?
All right, well, Steinman, unfortunately, this will be the end of your tournament run.
Yeah.
I do hope that you enjoyed your time in the tournament, and I just want to say, like, watching your progress, like, you got an insanely good time so fast. Right? How did you do it?
I mean, I don't know. I just played and I practiced a lot, but I just wanted to add. I mean, that at the beginning of the tournament, I set myself a goal to finish higher seed than when I started. I started at 15. Now I end at like 30. So I'm kind of sad in a way, but in another way, I learned so much, and this tournament was really a breaking point, I think, in my early career, if you can say it like that. Because I learned so many things, and just the stress in the first races, I had difficulty to play, and then I can get 31s in the races where I had a 38 like not too long ago. So I'm really happy with this tournament, and I hope it will continue.
Well, we're of course looking forward to that. Okay, last question here. This one directed at you, Cheese. Looking forward, you got the lower finals matchup now against Lost to Do, and then after that, if you're able to be successful there, you'd be facing up against Trojan Dude for the division finals. How are you feeling about those two upcoming matches and your prospects in each of them?
I mean, it's time to take revenge. To do got over me. I wasn't expecting it in the very first round of 64. Like with this, like I said, I wasn't even expecting to win this one, but now that I've got this 31-15 in a race setting, I'm feeling way more confident. Hopefully I can take some time out of all the stuff that I still have to do and take the win tomorrow.
Oh god!
Get out of here, Steinman.
We were so close to no.
Okay, I'm out.
But I don't know, Cheese. Maybe you need to just take a week off Ori again and see, because somehow it makes you produce 31-15s.
Yeah, maybe. Just no practice until the race.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us. And thanks again to both of you for such an exciting race. Meanwhile, for everybody who wants to watch more Ori action, we've got 3 races lined up for you tomorrow. Nothing more tonight. This is our last match of the night. And the first one tomorrow will be at 3 p.m. Eastern with Mr. Randomson versus Covert Muffin. The rematch should be an exciting one. And other than that, just keep it tuned to Speed Gaming because they've got a lot of awesome content for you this weekend. Thanks for joining me, Fan.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, Hobbs, especially for a race like this.
Of course, always is indeed. I'm just going to take as many of the words that we repeat and put them all in. Absolutely. Anyways.
Indeed.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. We're going to stop talking at you now and keep it tuned to Speed Gaming for more intense action.
Damage as they head through. So, ooh, nice job. And wow, Yoko. Oh,
no. Oh, no, Yoko. Oh, my goodness. Please be careful.
He hasn't taken any really bad deaths as result, but
oh no.
Why did I say that? Why did I say that?
Yeah, true shade. So we're gonna see what D2 decides to do. Nice safety save there, and wow, the value from the safety save.
The trick itself requires precisely positioning a frog and managing your XP, but because that can happen, because that froggy has a chair and it can stomp it right on your tiny little head.
Oh god, Milton, get out of there!
Holy crap, the recovery from that.
Like, it's deceptive. Ooh, deceptively difficult. Rufus.
Holy
so close.
crap, Rufus.
Oh.
Oh god.
Exit.
And what is happening now?
I don't know.
Oh, Monkey's shot going through.
Oh, Cheese missed the double bash though. He's gonna go back up. Monkey's shots are facing the floor. I hope he does not hit that on the upper one. Cheese is broken into swamp.
Oh, Monkey getting hit by the shot.
Metal that Terra did. Oh, missing that, but he's got the backup. That's okay. Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh. Okay, try again. Just this time you can get to the platform.
What you've seen from runners like Lucidus, Uncle Ronnie, and Eviona so far in the tournament, and oh wow.
Damn.
I do not know how he survived.
Both runners getting that 5th.
Oh, Randomson had a really... Wow, what a nice backup, though. Randomson had trouble with the first spider shot, but now it's basically tied.
Go stomp the rocks. And oh,
Fluffy,
I
what
didn't know you could do that.
Oh,
You really just keep moving and skip that cutscene?
Oh god, Hori's in the air! Hello!
Oh no. Oh, Frankie. Frankie, please go away. Oh, that is so painful.
Oh, this is a party. Luckily, he does have a safety.
Yeah, mini boss not quite going according to plan. Melvin's gonna go with the stomp spam. Keep that frog away. Get out of here. Don't hit me with your chair. He says he gets through it okay, and we'll be just finishing up Misty.
The section is really difficult with the 5 health. Alright, he gets the bash off of the fish. So yeah, he gets through, but upcoming here is...
He's on through!
Oh, he died! Death! Richard is in the lead. No, they're tied. Richard just died as well. What? This is literally synced in the final escape, guys. Unbelievable.
They both stopped the thing together. Okay.
Each one of those grenades costs 1. He's got 1 left. That's enough for 2 grenade jump attempts. If he keeps missing in that particular way, he's got 1 chance left.
1 more.
And he gets it! The
First
clutch.
try, and... Well, not first try, but... You know what? First try.
We'll call it first try.